Hi, I'm Hannah from 21st Century K. I teach kindergarten and I help other teachers bridge the gap between traditional kindergarten and 21st century expectations. I'm here today to share the second tip in my top 4 lessons learned as an online kindergarten teacher in the year 2020. I've learned a whole lot more than 4 lessons, but these are the big 4 that are going to carry me forward into 2021 and beyond. The first tip was in our previous video, all about how I've improved my lesson plans with digital lesson planning and hyperlinking. Today, we're going to talk a little more about how my instruction has been impacted. You see, when I first started teaching online this year, I would go live on Zoom, I would admit my students from the waiting room, and then kind of be like, hi, I'm here and you're here. What are we gonna do now, right? And I had a hard time finding my footing in starting my school day. And I don't know why, but I never thought about calendar time when it came to online teaching. And I'm the queen of calendar time. I have created dozens and dozens of online interactive calendar files for use in the classroom with a smartboard. But I never dreamed of using it online. And that's really the message I want to give you today. If it works in your classroom in person, try to find a way to make it work online. You'll feel more comfortable and your students will be more engaged. So when it dawned on me that I should be using these calendar files online, and that instead of having the students manipulate the parts and pieces, I would do that while they gave me the answers, it opened my eyes to realizing that kids are kids. And my in-person kids love calendar time best of all, and so do my online kids. And frankly, so do I. It's a wonderful way to start the day with ease, to start the day with consistency, and provide kiddos that comfort zone where they know the answers day in and day out. And you can also teach a lot of numeracy skills in the meantime too. So tip number 2, improved calendar time. Now, your calendar doesn't have to be quite this fancy. I like to use PowerPoint to create my backgrounds, and I am a sucker for clip art and fonts. But you can create your own calendar in Google Slides or PowerPoint or whatever program you like to use. You can share the screen with your kids online or project it in your classroom and get the same results with just a few little tips about how to make it better. The first thing on every slide deck I create is a traditional calendar. I have this on a bulletin board in my classroom, but if I move away from my computer for online teaching, my students can't hear me very well. So I needed something virtual that I could show them and we could work through the steps of calendar. So this is as simple as a clip art and a bunch of colored text boxes with the numbers. You can move the pieces around while presenting in edit mode, or with some programs, you can present in present mode and still move the pieces around. You can call on students to help you with the answers while you click and drag and they watch it on their screen. It's pretty cool. The other thing I always include on the first slide is a morning message. I let my students know what day it is, I give them a positive thought for the day, or give them a heads up on something that's happening, and I always close it with love, Miss Stark. The other thing that you can do with calendar slides is teach math skills through all traditional calendar activities. Once you create them, it's super easy to do online. This calendar slide is created with a table and charts, but you could easily create shapes in PowerPoint or in Google Slides. Once you get everything like you want it, you can either snip, you can either screenshot, or you can either save the slide as a JPEG and put it in as a background so that when you get ready to present and when you get ready to, even in edit mode, move pieces around, you're not going to get all carried away and accidentally move everything else too. So, tip number 1, you can use shapes and text boxes. You don't have to be fancy clip art. Tip number 2, get everything like you want in the background, save that, put it as the background, and then only leave the things on the slide that you want to move around, like the 10s and the 1s and the 100s. The next tip that you can do with calendar time is hyperlinking. Remember in the first video, we talked all about hyperlinking lesson plans. You can do the same thing in your calendar time. In this case here, I created a button that is just a text box, and I hyperlinked the shape. So I selected the shape, then I went to the link button, and I put the URL in for the YouTube video I wanted to show. I love this because you can change out the videos to go with the season. You can change out the videos as your content gets increasingly harder, or just change out the videos to increase engagement. It's fun when you never know what's going to happen on the other end of that button. The other thing that calendar time is good for is building classroom community. And these are a couple slides I created to build classroom community. The first is the tooth tally. We don't have an actual poster that we're marking on, so here I made a whole bunch of little tooth clip arts and stacked them up on top of each other. That way when I'm in edit mode, I can put one of those tooth marbles in the jar, and we can keep tally as my students lose their teeth. December was a very dry month for losing teeth in kindergarten. Maybe more to come in 2021. The other thing you can do is involve kids and encourage leadership. This Leader's Choice slide is just a bunch of hyperlinked buttons that lead to various YouTube videos that go with the month's theme. I will let the leader choose the button, and then we get to end calendar time with a song or a learning video or a dance. It's always a lot of fun. You can also include student leadership by having them lead the slide for each other. If you're in person and you can, have kids come to the board and move things around. If you're online or you can't, you can still move the pieces while they direct you what to do, and they lead the class on the concept for that slide. The sky is really the limit when it comes to creating a day-to-day calendar slide deck that works for you. You can use a lot of the pre-made ones, but you can always create your own with a little bit of know-how and a little bit of creativity. So when I began starting my day this way, I knew that my students were getting their numeracy skills. They were confident and comfortable with our consistent start to the day, and it was easy and fun. Remember, you can use text boxes and shapes. You can hyperlink anything, and always make it fun for you and your kids.